Hello and welcome back to the J&Z podcast. Today we're talking about one of my most not appreciated movies of the year, 65. The marketing for it was pretty good initially. It had a lot of intrigue, but the actual execution of it um, left me walking out of the theater wishing I just kind of stayed home. Not gonna lie. But I finally convinced Seth that it was so bad that he should probably give it a watch, and so he did. And so now we're able to talk about it. Zeth, what do you think of the movie?
Eh, it wasn't as bad as you made it out to be, but at the same time, it's nothing that I would recommend. It wasn't really good, and it wasn't what the marketing really promised. It was a lot funnier than it needed to be. The marketing made it seem like it was finally taking dinosaurs back to the scary roots that they were, with Jurassic Park or Planet of the Dinosaurs, and I don't know.
I'd say it's kind of horror scary aspect has as much subtlety as like a Five Nights at Freddy's game. It's literally just jump scares in the worst way possible. And that's all they did.
And that's fine. You can do lots of jump scares. I don't find anything wrong with jump scares as long as there's some good tension in the movie.
I hate
And
jump scares. They're my least favorite part. I love tension. I hate just being like out of absolute nowhere for no reason. In this movie, literally, it was just over and over again for no reason.
yeah, I guess there was just no tension for me really. There was a few points where they kind of had my intrigue, like they build up the T-Rex until you finally see him like halfway through the movie. You see like his face, like his shadow or like his footprint or different things like the trees moving and that was kind of interesting. Like they're building it up,
Mm-hmm.
but there just wasn't enough scary moments, I
Uh,
guess, or like tense moments. Like I guess the best like tense moment was when the bug creature goes inside the girl's mouth and like is causing something. I don't really know what it was, but it wasn't good. And then he has to like uh,
they took a break
kill it.
from literal constant jump scares to do gross out stuff. That was the only change up in the whole movie.
Yeah, and I mean like the concept is interesting to me at least. Like, okay, let's have an alien race crash land on Earth, but it's 65 million years ago before Earth was ever really Earth. It's dinosaurs and stuff. So, I
As
mean,
the
like,
asteroids come in.
yeah, like it's an interesting concept on paper, but I feel like it just needed to be fleshed out a little more. And I wanted less talking. You made it seem like this movie was going to be like two sentences, and
It felt like it, seriously. That I feel like when they talk, they just don't really say anything of substance really. They just the only time they talk at length because the two characters don't even understand each other, the girl and whoever Adam Driver plays, they don't even say the same language. The only time is when they're setting up their quote unquote emotional moment with the guy's daughter that they did almost nothing to actually make you care about. Like it was the most obvious just nothing burger of sympathy bait that I've ever seen, and it
y-
didn't work.
yeah, and there's that, and there's like a few moments where like he's trying to tell her to shush and stuff like that. There was just way too much talking. I feel like I don't know. I wanted this to be more like there was an excellent movie with Robert Redford called All Is Lost that has like two lines of dialogue throughout 2 hours of the movie, and the rest of it is just him on a boat and like figuring out how to survive a storm.
Hmm.
And I like it when there's less dialogue in movies mostly, um, because I hate it when it's like the character has to explain to the audience what he's doing or why he's doing it. The audience isn't stupid. We know why he has to have a rope to get up the cliff. You don't have to have Adam Driver explaining it. I guess like I don't know.
There,
There's
there was
just
nothing
was
to
a
explain. They were literally just going from point A to point B. It was quite literally, you get a better experience of the dinosaur world walking around in Ark Survival Evolved, and then all of a sudden a dinosaur attacks you. That is quite literally the level of just stuff happening in this movie.
It did remind me of like an Ark movie almost.
But Ark wouldn't make a good movie, and it'd be that.
You can do something with that. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought like the main concept and the idea is interesting. And the trailer made it look like it was going to be, really scary. It was going to be a thriller. It looked like a lot of fun. But just watching it, it was just like,
It wasn't fun. The death fake outs, I swear there was at least a couple of them, and none of them were anything.
no, I'm saying like the marketing made it look like it was going to be a lot of fun and scary, but in concept
So boring.
it was just yeah, it was just boring and uh, not as interesting as the trailers made it seem. A lot of the
No.
dinosaurs were the exact same. I think the dinosaurs looked fine, like the CGI looked fine, especially for how small of a budget this movie is compared to something like Jurassic World. But I don't know. A
Yeah,
lot of
those
the
look good.
yeah, just a lot of the dinosaurs like they went on all fours, like for the majority of it. There wasn't like I guess the best way to compare it to is Jurassic World. Like Jurassic World has thousands of different dinosaurs, and obviously it's a different budget and a different movie, but this one just kind of had like the exact same dinosaur kind of copied and pasted. Even the T Rex was just kind of like a bigger version of one of the smaller dinosaurs.
Yeah. It did not lend itself to the sci-fi setting very well. It did like the bare minimum amount of world building to make it seem like it was a sci-fi movie, but it almost had zero relevance to the whole thing. Like he set up the little sensors, they have like the weird like foreign currency in the ship and stuff, but they're just going like 90% of the movie they're literally just doing wilderness survival. It could have been a modern day part for 90% of it, and it's not that the cool aspect of it was his modern day inventions, I get, or the future inventions, and I guess they were there with his gun and stuff, but it just didn't work. I don't know. I was not super invested in this future world that they were living in. I didn't really care.
Yeah, and they could have done something more interesting where like all his tech doesn't work. Like, the guns have to be like connected to the ship in some way, and because the ship has been torn apart, the guns don't work. Something along those aspects. So then he has to like use the tools that he finds around the area or make like a spear or something like that, and that's how he kills the dinosaurs. I don't know, something to make it a little more tense because while some of them were cool, like I think the gun was kind of cool. I think like those remote detonator bombs that he like could click and throw were kind of cool.
Yeah, those are neat.
But it made it less tense when like one bullet takes out a raptor or one of the smaller dinosaurs. It wasn't as tense as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I agree. And especially considering it just felt like it was the same thing over and over again. They walk a bit, they run into danger, the danger jump scares you, they fight the danger, they keep moving. Literally rinse and repeat, beginning to end.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all. I mean, like I'll give him credit. Like the girl wasn't annoying because I
I
I
barely
hate
remember her, so she must have barely talked or anything.
I mean, she does, but it's not like I hate it when a lot of the times these characters where it's like, "Oh, I have to take care of this individual because it's a little girl or a little boy." And the little boy or the little girl doesn't listen to the obvious adult that's saving their life. And it runs
She
a
does that
they
once or twice, but nothing
yeah,
too
but not in
crazy.
like an annoying way like, "Oh, I don't like you or I don't trust you."
Yes, she just
It's
wanted to
kind
save the baby
uh,
or
that's
something.
the only one, but like the other ones like they get separated once cuz he tells her to run cuz there's dinosaurs attacking and uh I think the other one was because they were meeting for the first time and she just kind of followed him in a
Hmm.
way. But she wasn't annoying in like the aspect that a lot of kids in movies are nowadays, or
They
that
always were. Kids in movies are just annoying for the most part. Always have been.
yeah, just I'll give him credit for that, and I'll give him even credit for Adam Driver. Adam Driver's character in this is hardly a thing. Like he had the daughter that died, obviously, but
They just found I don't even know how they managed to make me not care, like, at all.
Yeah.
They did what I didn't even know what they did wrong to an extent, but it just didn't matter because the movie was it just you're just watching it and you're like, "This is just kinda crap." Like, oh my gosh, it was just infuriating. I had no idea what to expect walking into that movie. So, it was
No, I feel bad
I
for
was
you
just
because you
waiting.
went to the theater. I just waited till it was on Netflix here recently, and
Yeah.
yeah, I probably would have been a little disappointed to go and see that in the theater. So
And
I
then if I'm
completely understand.
remembering right, the ending, the ship's upside down and then the T-Rex shows up, right?
Yeah, there's like two of them.
And it's like I remember the ending just not making sense. Like they did not have enough time. She didn't or whatever to go save him or whatever, and then like it just didn't logistically make sense in my head. But maybe I'm remembering it wrong. How did that all go down?
No, I mean the exact same way you just said. Like they have the two T Rexes, and then there's one that chases after Adam Driver. You learn that it runs on all fours, which I thought was kind of silly, but also kind of cool. And he leads them into those geysers,
Yeah,
and that's when the girl like stabs it in the eye with that tooth that she made with like the poison berries or whatever.
and then she was supposed to stay in the ship because the ship, the meteor's coming or something, and the ship's upside down. Oh wait,
I
that was it,
just
right?
watched this and I can't even remember the ending, so I'm
Did
with
the
you, man.
dinosaur push the ship back over? Did
Uh,
that happen? Because that was I remember
maybe.
that thinking that was really dumb and shouldn't have happened. It just happened. It was the most happenstance, whatever kind of just crap way of fixing the problem of the ship being upside down. Like they got the dinosaur to run into it and it tipped it back over and it worked. And then they ran out of time, but she still ran after him and they managed to somehow make it back in time, even though it just simply wouldn't have worked in real life. Like it was the most obvious, sucks you right out of the movie ending.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I really can't recommend this movie. I was just kind of bored and it was just I mean like Adam Driver's acting was good. I can say that. It's just that his character wasn't written very well or interesting.
No, none
Uh,
of them were. It was the definition of lame.
it was just like I mean like he was good acting like there's the part when oh they get separated because the tunnel that they dug out was falling apart. So he like gets separated from her and he starts like yelling at her and stuff like that. Like that was a decent moment with some decent acting, but if your character's not interesting, I mean, you know,
Yeah, no, I agree. Totally agree. I despise this movie. So it's everything I hate in a movie.
I don't despise it because it wasn't horrible like you were saying. Like it's not like I'm ripping my hair out over the decisions. It's more so it needed like one more rewrite. It seems like if I were to do this or like change some things, I probably would have made it where they didn't talk at all. Like maybe they use sign language or something as their language. Uh,
I guess I just can't believe you like Dial of Destiny less than this.
because,
There's
like I
no
said,
shot.
I don't know. I didn't
At
like
least
Dial of
Dial of
Destiny or
Destiny had
this.
actual dialogue
I
and
guess.
everything. Like it's
I
an
just,
actual movie. Things happened. I don't know.
I don't know.
Th-
Like I said, this isn't an offensively bad movie, nor is it a really good one. I, I can't really recommend it though from myself personally. It's just kind of like a whatever movie for me. It wasn't as bad as you said, but it wasn't great. I was kind of expecting more of a B movie, a little more fun, a little more tense moments, but it had none of that really. It had a little too much humor. I would have taken all the humor out in a rewrite, and I
I
just
didn't
would have
even know there was humor. I'm not even joking. Can you give an example?
like oh one of the moments there's like Adam Driver and the girl are drinking water or whatever, and she finds a flower, and he's like the girl's trying to put it on him, and he's like, "Ah, no, no, no." And then it cuts to the next scene, and he's wearing the flower. It's played for laughs. Like there's a few of those. Like he chases her around with this bug hand that because he smashed a bug, and so it's got all nasty stuff. So he's chasing her.
Mm.
It's played for laughs, and I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it's timed pretty well.
I think
I don't
ironically
know.
this movie compares to more than any other movie something like The Good Dinosaur. That's genuinely what this movie feels like, but just exponentially worse.
I don't know. I would have even gone for something like Planet of Dinosaurs. There's this great B movie we're gonna watch one day for the podcast. It's called Planet of Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are all stop motion,
Hmm.
but it's scary. It's an actually good, scary B movie. There's giant spiders, there's giant insects. A group of people die, and it's almost the exact same concept where it's like a group of, except it's a group of people, group of explorers. They crash land on a planet, and it ends up being that the planet is inhabited by dinosaurs, and it's just slowly them like surviving. And
Right.
the thing about it is the ending is so good. It's a upbeat ending, but at the same time it's a horrifying ending at the same time. So it's a
That does
pretty
sound
good
kind of
movie.
neat.
Yeah, and it's a great B movie. And that's kind of what I thought this was going to be, like kind of maybe an homage to those older dinosaur movies, maybe just sprinkled in with a little bit of pizzazz because of something like Jurassic Park. But this movie just, I don't know, it was written pretty bad. I can't say anything bad about the editing or the directing or the acting. It just needed a definite rewrite, that's for sure.
Yeah, the whole premise of the movies just doesn't just it just didn't work. The whole not talking thing did not work out for them. I know you say they talk too much, but they did not. They either talked too much or they didn't talk enough. They were in that spot. They had absolutely zero character development besides the guy's daughter dying, which
Well, and I don't
nobody
even need like
cared.
character development. You just need like a cool guy, or I don't know. There's just a lot that didn't work in this movie.
Yeah.
That's really all
Yeah.
I have to say. I mean, like
Me
seriously,
too.
what else do we say?
There's nothing else to say. Can't recommend it, not one bit.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite movies I've seen in a long time. I hate everything that made this movie what it was.